Hey, how you doing? In the last video I showed you how to easily go to the moon and back, and this time I will travel to Minmus. It can be a little more difficult because, unlike the moon, the Minmus has a different inclination. I mean, it's different to the equatorial orbit. And there are two ways to get there. First is a little bit rare way, and it mostly used if you are trying, for example, to build a base on Minmus and you do such travels quite often, and your start point is Kerbal all the time, so you are not in the orbit yet. So instead of making an equatorial orbit and then make relative inclination 0, you can just take off with some needed inclination. How to do this? I don't think that there is any perfect way to do this. Maybe there is, but I just use a simple one and it usually works, or kind of works. So first of all, you have to position your camera in a way that the moon's orbit here is a straight line. You know, now it's a round, and now it's a straight line. Yeah, like this. And then you rotate your camera to make the Minmus orbit a line as well. So both moon and Minmus orbits should be lines. So now you have here an intersection which goes through ascending and descending node. So all you have to do is to wait until your space center is somewhere here. It's here already, but no, it's on the other side of the planet. So you wait until it comes somewhere here. Maybe even closer. Right here. Then all you have to do is to set the target in the vehicle. So you have a target now, and you are trying to keep not the 90 degrees when you are rounding your orbit around the Kerbal, but a 90 minus 6 degrees, so it's 83. And you can just point to this, how it's called, target mark, and you will get an inclination like 5.5 degrees or close to this, and it will not take that much fuel to make relative inclination as 0. But this is a rare situation, and you don't run into them really often. Instead, I will show you how to travel there when you have an equatorial orbit, but without making relative inclination 0. You can also use this method when you are trying to intercept some, mission satellites. When you have to bring them back to Earth, they usually have some weird inclinations. And also this method is really useful when you are traveling, for example, to Eeloo. Now I will just take off, and I will fast forward this moment. Okay, now we are here. So what we have? We have an orbit which is quite close to an equatorial. Inclination is only 0.2 degrees, and the relative inclination between our orbit and the target orbit is 6.2 degrees. So if you might guess that I want to make just make an interception point here or here. So the only thing we have to do is to wait until Minmus comes, let's say here, and then just make a transfer orbit in this point in the descending node. And if we calculate everything correctly, we will meet the Minmus exactly in the ascending node point, and we don't have to make inclination to 6.2. So the only thing we have to do is to wait, and while we are here, we cannot warp that fast. So I just wait until Minmus goes like here. By the way, I used the old man ship. It's okay. Definitely can be used to travel to Minmus as well. So what do I do now? I get rid of my boosters. Also, I extend all solar panels, and I first try to make a transfer orbit to, yeah, you see, we are quite close. Look at this. Maybe even later, just a bit. Oh, no, earlier. Yeah, like this. It's okay. So you see, we still have about a 0 inclination, and don't have to do anything with it. So let's warp to the maneuver. Set targeting computer. I played too much this Battletech game. How is it called here? Navigational computer or something like that. So burn is about 80 seconds, so we have to wait until it's 40. Let's warp a bit more. 40 seconds to node. Alright, we are here. Alright. We warp here. Let's see. Our periapsis here is really decent, so I can warp to Minmus. Oh, it's taking so long. Now we can adjust our orbit a bit to lower the inclination. Then to make it closer to the Minmus surface, or even just to land straight on the Minmus surface. Alright. This is it. And what we do is we have to move our periapsis to 0. So the orbit goes straight to the surface. Now it goes to the surface here, which is not good. I want it just here. Alright. Like this. And the only thing we have to watch for is the suicide burn distance, like in the previous video. Let's warp. It's not that effective, but I have so much fuel on board. We have 877 meters per second in this stage, and the suicide burn is about 300 meters per second, so it's definitely enough. And remember that I have to decouple this tank to actually load with landing legs at this stage. So warping carefully, quick saving. Carefully. It looks like, yeah, the suicide burn will be calculated a little bit wrong. Now we are, the landing point is at the sea level, but we will land somewhere here, I guess. Let's see what's happening. Can we warp properly? Yes, sure, thank you. Slower now. Don't need this thing anymore. I don't want to get splash damage. The gravity level is so low on this planet, so we should keep really close. I can go EVA, but I don't want to. You know, I know that I can, and it's enough. And going back is even easier because inclination is so low. I mean, inclination of the Minmus, that we don't have to make any weird moves to get back. What happened? Okay. Waiting till it's 2 seconds. Fire. Okay. And then, again, we do the same thing. We have to go in an opposite direction to the Minmus vector of moving. Minmus is going to the right, and we want to go to the left. Let's wait one more turn around the orbit. Okay. And start our path somewhere here. Right. Oh, it's getting lower, so Alright. Okay. Like this, it's perfect. Just perfect. So we have enough fuel to do this. And the burn is only 11 seconds. It's a really efficient maneuver. But due to the fact that our orbit is so low, the maximum warp speed is quite low. So we have to wait a bit. Target here to maneuver. Oh, how is it called? Maneuver point, maneuver target. Target point is here. And now manual warp to 6 seconds. Alright. Just perfect. Atmosphere ends at 70,000 meters above the sea level. And while we are traveling, we can adjust a maneuver mode. The burn is 51 seconds. Really manageable time. The same technique will be used in one of my next episodes about how to easily travel to Eeloo. It's the second difficult travel in this game. But when people see the Eeloo, they just want to get there because it's you know, this planet is so far and it has so weird orbit, so they just want to get there, and they just don't take into account that going to Moho is really much harder. I've been there myself a couple of times, but I didn't enjoy these missions, honestly. And Eeloo, just because of the popularity of the destination, I will definitely show how to get there easily, how to make a relatively cheap spacecraft. You know, I can make a really tiny spacecraft which uses gravity assists tens of times to get there. It can be super effective, but most of people just cannot get there anyhow. So I just want to show an easy method, which just works for sure. I guess it will be not the next video, but one after the next. So 26 seconds. Thank you. And we have a really weird inclination now. And how do we land in the spaceport? Yet again, we have to land in the moment when the space center in the line between the ascending and descending node. It should be somewhere here, I guess, if we want to land on the bright side of the planet. Let's wait. Maybe we have to wait a little bit longer. So maneuver will be somewhere here. Alright, now it's closer to what we need. This doesn't affect anything. Oh, okay, it does. So we do this. Okay, I guess it can work. Maybe. So we wait till it's 5 seconds. Maybe a little bit of adjustment. It's weird, isn't it? But anyway, I just don't care anymore. No. So I don't want any explosions. Re-entry will be here. Let's even monitor the heat. It will be quite a long run through the atmosphere because our periapsis now is above 40,000 meters. Maybe this is why the landing is so not accurate. We can go faster, sadly. It's here. Oh, all right. Not that far. We can even use engine. So here we are. Next time, the same technique will be used to travel to Eeloo, and I'm very much looking forward to this. Now, that's it for today. Goodbye, everyone.